Years passed, and YN's empire only grew stronger. She had not only rebuilt herself, but had expanded her influence into territories that were once thought untouchable. Her name became synonymous with power and respect, and people in the underground world either feared or revered her. Jungkook watched her rise from the sidelines. He regretted every single day he spent without her, knowing he was the cause of his own misery. He tried reaching out once, but YN's response was simple. "You are nothing to me now." Her words cut deeper than the bullet wound ever could. YN, now a mafia queen alongside her new partner, someone who treated her with the loyalty and respect she deserved, continued to thrive. Her partner was everything Jungkook wasn't: reliable, supportive, and completely loyal. They built an empire together, one that was impenetrable. Meanwhile, Jungkook had been stripped of his influence and connections after the scandal with Mina. The mafia world, loyal to Y or N, shunned him. He was left to fend for himself, wandering in the shadows of a life he once dominated. Every attempt he made to get back into the business was blocked by YN's loyalists. She had ensured that he would live with nothing but the consequences of his betrayal. With Mina gone, Jungkook's once thriving social circle dwindled. Those who remained were suspicious, knowing he had betrayed YN. The weight of his actions settled heavily on him, and he began distancing himself, isolating from those who still remembered what he had done. He lost everything: his position, his friends, and most of all, the woman he truly loved. The regret became a constant presence in his life, haunting him every time he heard YN's name whispered in the underground circles. YN, having risen above it all, knew the true extent of Mina's manipulation. She had discovered how Mina had played Jungkook, feeding his insecurities and using his trust against him to destroy YN. This knowledge only fueled YN's drive to ensure that Mina's name was forever erased from the world she once inhabited. Those loyal to Mina were systematically dismantled, and her businesses, assets, and properties were all seized and repurposed under YN's empire. YN's ruthless efficiency made her the most feared and respected leader in the underworld. Years after the betrayal, Jungkook remained alone, his attempts to rebuild his life a failure. He spent nights thinking about what could have been, remembering every moment he shared with YN, and wondering how he had let someone like Mina ruin it all. He knew now that he had been manipulated, but it was too late. He saw YN in the media, the headlines glorifying her as the most powerful and influential woman in the underground world. She looked strong, confident, and most of all, happy. It was a happiness that once belonged to him, and it tore him apart every time he saw her smile. As YN sat in her luxurious penthouse looking out over the city she now ruled, she thought back to everything she had endured: the betrayals, the pain, and the revenge. All of it had shaped her into the woman she had become. Her new life, her partner, and her empire were proof of her strength. There were no more regrets. She had chosen the path of power, and it had given her everything she needed. She was no longer just YN, she was the Mafia Queen, a title earned through fire, betrayal, and victory. And no one, not even Jungkook, could take that from her. Jungkook would continue to suffer, and the memory of YN's face, the love he had lost, and the life he could have had would be his punishment, a torment worse than any bullet. YN knew that true power wasn't in granting mercy. It was in moving on, stronger than ever.